Hello. You know, my enemies thought they knew I was strong. They knew I was smart. They knew I was a formidable opponent, and they were afraid of me. They still are, very much more so now than they were then. You know, but I caught them by surprise. They didn't know what to do. They didn't know how to handle me. I didn't give them many options. They were more fearful of a news report than anything else, making me more powerful, giving me exposure, bringing me into the light. They didn't want that. As you can see why if you listen to my videos. But that's why they label the mentally ill and put me in psych wards, to make me weak. So anything I say, they can just turn around and say, "Oh, he's crazy, don't listen to him. Look, he's been in a psych ward, he's on medication. He has his opinion is worth zero." So that was the whole reason for that. But when I first, in 1999 was when I was really first diagnosed. I fought it. I didn't want it. I didn't want to take the meds. The meds back then were very bad and would make you feel really, really bad and all that stuff. So that's why I fought it. But you know, I like the metaphor of if you ever seen that picture. I think it was in a newspaper. I believe it was on Facebook. I'm not sure. Most social media, I'm sure. And there are other ones like it if it's not the one I'm talking about. But you saw a picture of logs, regular logs that people use for a fireplace, a pile of logs, all lined up orderly and very nice and neat, not a mess. And at the bottom of the log picture, it says, "Find the cat," And you look at the log picture, you're like, what freaking cat? What are you talking about? There's no cat in that picture. And there is a cat in the picture, but you can't see it. You could look at that picture for an hour, 2 hours, 2 days. You get really mad at the end. You get really mad, because you don't find it. And, it's sitting right in front of your face. Right where it is sitting, you looked, and you did not see it. I don't care what you do. You did not see it. Now, of course, either they have another picture circling the cat, showing you where it is, so you can say, "Oh, there it is," But, or somebody points it out and tells you where the cat is, and you're like, "Holy shit, there's a cat there." And once they point it out, now they can't hide anymore. The cat is done. His camouflage is no good. But like a chameleon, chameleon on a leaf. You can't see the chameleon until he moves. And eventually the cat would move and give its position up. But I'm the cat. And the pile of wood, each log, is the psych ward patient. They wanted to put me in that picture as a log. They wanted me to be a log. God wanted me as a cat, but my enemies wanted to be a log where nobody could see me. And, the cat wasn't dangerous when everybody thought it was a log, And when it's a log, nobody pays it any mind. Nobody pays it any attention. They just go about their day. But once they realize there's a cat there, that changes everything. So you wouldn't want to be a mouse and running around that pile. And that's what you are. And I'm the cat. So, and I think if you watch my videos, I'm proving that I'm a cat. And I'm proving I'm not one to be ignored. So, and through all the years that I've been in psych wards and everything else, in jail and all that, but they tried to keep me a log. If I said anything or did anything, I don't listen to him. He's just a log. He's just simply a log. He's not a cat. But I am a cat. And they don't like that. They don't like that. I'm ruining their narrative. I'm ruining they're hiding me, and now I'm in plain sight, and they can't ignore me. My enemies live off lies, and I'm revealing all their lies, and the truth is their enemy, not me. I'm just the messenger. I didn't create the truth. I just discovered it. I was given the truth by God to tell you that, hey, this guy's screwing you. This guy's lying to you. They're plotting against you. That's what my videos show. And they are. And they do lie to you. They lie to you on a daily basis. So, and that's why they don't like me, because I reveal their lies. And once a lie is revealed, it's like the cat, The cat can't hide once everybody knows he's there, that's it. Once they know where he is, he's done. So that's what I'm doing. I'm showing you where the cat is. And I'm showing you that I'm a cat. So it's a weird metaphor, but I think it works. It works for me. And this whole time that I've been locked up and all the years that I've been going through hell in my own life, in my own world, it's the calm before the storm. Your storm, the storm that you're going to go through. When I become popular and these videos become viral, they can't hide them. They can't stop it. The truth is going to be known. This is Anne Frank's diary all over again. They can do what they want, but they can't hide the videos. People have seen them. They're out there. It's on the internet. It's in the cloud. They're not going away. So. And I think you can tell I'm authentic and I'm real, and I'm not lying to you, and I'm not doing this as a stage act or trying to illusions of grandeur and all that. I'm not trying to trick you. I'm not trying to fool you. I'm not trying to manipulate your feelings and emotions, bring you to my side. I don't want you to come to my side unless you want to. If you're happy living in an illusion world, stay there. If you want to be manipulated and controlled and lied to on a daily basis, stay there. Go read that newspaper that really has no news in it. So, it's manufactured news, it's not real news. That's why it's usually the same every day, because it's hard to come up with new stuff every day when you make it up. So, they have to use the same story over and over. And it's the fact that the longer you say things over and over, they become truth. Like Trump, he would say things on the campaign trail that over and over, and people thought it was truth by the end, that he wasn't lying, and he was lying the whole time. He's going to bring down the price of eggs. I don't know. I don't think the price of eggs come down at all. You put a tariff on them to make them higher, not lower. So, the lies, the manipulation, and when you're sheep like you are, you have no defense. You have no way of stopping what they're doing to you. And that's what they're doing to you. And I'm telling you right now what they're doing to you, and it really has little effect. It's a seed. It's only a seed. What I'm doing is only planting a seed. And I don't expect you to turn off this video and make a picketing sign and go picket City Hall or something, or go tear down New York Times for the lies that they've manufactured through these decades and decades of their existence. They've never told you the truth. And if they did tell you the truth, it was because it was beneficial to them in some way of covering up a lie. Like Watergate. Watergate was a lie. It was a lie that it was the worst thing that ever happened. And there were much worse things going on at the same time. In Vietnam, and FBI killing people, assassinating people. And that was never reported. But Watergate was number one. The worst thing ever. Brought down a president. But the other things you never heard about. So sometimes you use the truth to cover up the lie. The bigger lie. Look what they're doing with Epstein. They're trying to cover up Trump's relationship with Epstein. The truth is Epstein was horrible, and Trump's lie is he wasn't really a friend. Meanwhile, he doesn't know the videos and pictures and emails. So I don't know how you're not a friend when you were involved in all that. But that's the lie they're trying to cover up. And why is he going into Clinton? Because instead of looking at me, they're looking at Clinton, and that's good for Trump. So that helps Trump. And Clinton's the truth. Clinton was involved in Epstein just as much and deserves to go down just with the ship like everybody else. But Trump's trying to survive. He wants to be the one in the life raft, and I don't think it's going to happen. He's going down with the ship eventually. But when he's throwing people off the boat so he can get to the lifeboat, that's all he's doing. So, and you see me. You see how calm I am. You see how honest I am. I mean, I don't think you can really find anywhere that I lied to you. May I not be right in everything I say? Maybe some of my facts are wrong. I doubt it. I tried my best to give you the truth. I'm not purposely lying to you. If I did lie to you, if you can find a point in my videos where I did lie, it wasn't done to manipulate or control you. It was done because I thought it was the truth. And that's how I spoke it, and that's why I spoke it in the first place. So I think you can tell that. Right? That's why I've always been the black sheep, I've always been the black sheep. My family, I was a black sheep since I was 3 years old. I've been beaten up since I was in the crib. My grandmother caught my father beating the crap out of me in the crib because I wouldn't stop crying. So I guess his answer was beat him up and he'll stop crying. I don't know if I follow that logic, but look. It is true that stupid parents can have genius kids. That's my scenario. But I know I'm a genius and all, but I don't go around flaunting it. I don't go around telling everybody I'm a genius. They kind of figure it out on their own. And if they don't, it takes intelligence to recognize intelligence. So if they don't recognize that I'm smart, then I don't consider them to be too smart either. So it's not much of a loss. I don't need idiots to think I'm smart. I like when smart people think, when a smart person says you're smart, that means something. but, you know, I don't know. I don't live for opinions and opinion polls, and I don't care what the ratings are, you know. That all takes care of itself. It's not in my hands. That's God's job, not mine. I don't do God's job. You know, I'm the messenger. He gives me the message, and I give you the message. I'm just the translator. You know, that's all. I don't write these videos down. I don't write a script. I don't write an essay and then talk about it on a video. It comes right off my heart, comes right off my head, and if I feel it's important, I'll talk about it. You know, and I think I have a metaphor that is interesting, like the cat one. You know, I'll bring it up. You know, and I think of those things a lot. Of me. How can I use something to express how I feel? And not manipulate. I wasn't manipulating you with the cat story. I was trying to reveal the cat to you that you didn't see, that I was and I am. Hiding me in a psych ward with a bunch of psych patients, calling myself Jesus. Perfect cover. I mean, I can't think of anything more perfect than that, you know. And I told a woman that worked at the psych ward, she wasn't a patient, she worked there, and I said, you know, they want to kill me, and I'm in a psych ward, and there's many floors. I'm in the state psych ward, so there's many floors of psych patients, and there's a lot of psych patients in here that think of themselves as Jesus and call themselves Jesus. So if they want to kill me, they're going to have a hard time finding me and thinking they got the right one. You know, it's got, again, I'm a log amongst logs, and it protects me. So, and that's what a lot of what God did to me was to protect me. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing now. Now it protects me. This is Anne Frank's diary all over again. You know, so if they hurt me, then this comes out and destroys them. You know, so I'm very dangerous, even though I'm very plain, I'm very simple. I'm very dangerous. You know, a handgun is not very shiny. It's really nothing. It's a big paperweight until you fire it. And I'm a paperweight until they fire me. And then all of a sudden I'm the smoking gun. You know, so you gotta look at it that way. You gotta look at perspective, you know, the way you look at something. You know, it could be deadly. It could be deadly. A cat seems very innocuous, and like, how can a cat be dangerous? But he's got those claws, don't he? And those claws hurt like hell. I've been attacked by cats, so I know. When you walk away with a fight from a cat, you usually walk away with a few scratches and scars and wish you didn't mess with that cat. Meow. Meow. You know, so, yeah. And I can tell my enemies that I'm bait. I can tell them that I'm what I'm saying I am, and they'll still come after me. They're just too stupid to realize I'm not one to mess with, but they'll still mess with me, you know, because in reality, they think I'm a log. They don't think of me as any different than a log, and they think you think of me as a log, and you don't, but they think you think of me as a log, so, you know, I don't know. They don't see the threat that I represent. Some do, and that's why I was made a log, because they wanted to take the threat out of me. They wanted to declaw the cat. And that's what they were doing. They were trying to declaw the cat. And, you know, didn't matter. I still have teeth. I still have a mouth. I still have a brain. And the one thing I have that they don't have on my side is time. Time is on my side. It's not on theirs. You know? My storm will come. My time will come. You know? But you can't hurt me. They tried. So The world doesn't stop because they want it to. Change is the only constant thing in this world. It never stops. Change never stops. You know, I'm not the same person I was when I started this video 20 minutes ago. So, and you're not the same person you were 20 minutes ago either. After hearing this video, and there's nothing you can do about it. You look at the world differently, whether you like it or not, and that is the seed. That's the seed that I planted. I changed the way you look at the world. I changed the way you look at my enemies. You know. And see, that's the thing that Trump can't stop. You know, he might have started out with good PR and approval ratings and everything, but over time, it doesn't last. It doesn't hold water. And eventually, it's like trying to hold water in your hand. Eventually, your hand's going to be dry, and there's not going to be any water. You know, and I am water, and that's why they can't hold me. You know, and they're rock. But water against rock turns to sand. And they're turning to sand on a daily basis. And there's nothing they can do about it. There's nothing they can do to stop it. It's like trying to go to the beach and try to stop the waves. You can't do it. I don't care what size rock you are. You're not going to stop the waves. And eventually you're going to be a pile of sand and no longer a rock. And the waves will still be coming. So, and that's why I'm calm. I'm calm. The water doesn't get excited. And the rock doesn't have time on its side. Water does. So eventually all truths will be known. I'm bringing them out one by one, and I learn more every day. I don't hide behind a pretty face that can be destroyed by a scar on my face, a slashing of my face that'll turn everybody away from me. You know, I don't think it would matter. It might piss people off more than anything. But it won't ruin my power. It won't take away my power. And they know that, and that's why I don't have a scar on my face. If they thought it would work, they, you know, like George Clooney. If you want to hurt George Clooney, go slash his face. You know, you'll take him out of TV in a minute, because his currency is his face, is his looks. It's not my currency. My currency is my brain, and they can't touch that. And that's why they put me in the psych ward, to make it weaker, to give them a narrative they thought they could play with and manipulate, you know, and sell you. They wanted to sell you that I'm mentally ill. Because if you bought it, you were the item in the store with the sold sticker on it. You were done. So don't be sold. I'm not mentally ill. I was put here by God, you know. As soon as I was labeled mentally ill, I stopped working for them, and I started working for God. And I got paid to do it. I'm still getting paid to do it, and I'm still working for God 20, 30 years later. Did it work? I don't think so. It made me stronger, not weaker. It made me wiser, not dumber. You know, they can do a lot of things, but stopping me isn't one of them. You know, and preventing their downfall isn't one of them either. They're going down. They're all going down with the ship. And Epstein's emails are the iceberg. It's just a matter of time. The pedophile ring has sprung a leak, and it's going to sink